Ooh, the power's flickering at the house. What the fuck is going on? Did we pay the power bill? Yep. We paid the power bill. It's not my fault. Something's wrong. Anyways, now this video is not actually sponsored by Monster, though these drinks pretty much make me be able to survive in my average day. So in the previous unboxings, we've done a FortiGate 60F, we've done a FortiGate 40F, and we've even dove into the FortiAP series with the 231F, which, as you may remember, the 231F is the first AP that I consider to be worth its weight. The other ones you might as well just avoid, get you some nice unified things if you can actually get your hands on them. But if you want to include everything in the fabric, have that visibility that you need, 231F is the one for you. Today, we're going to open a FortiSwitch, and I'm going to talk about why I love and hate this switch. This particular model is the FortiSwitch 108E POE. There's a lot of situations where you need an 8-port switch. It makes a lot of sense. But once I unbox this, you're going to see why I'm a little bit like, Also, please check out Corporate Armor. They're the ones that sent this to me. Otherwise, you wouldn't be getting a video about it. Because let's face it, I'm not going to spend money to buy hardware that I then can't use. Everything I come across is for clients, right? And they usually don't want you throwing their stuff with their serial numbers up on the internet. They frown on that. Anyways, this is the box. This is the type of box the FortiSwitch comes in. You'll notice it's not a little rectangle box like you're used to from the FortiAP or FortiGate. It's a suitcase style one, because you know, we're off to deploy the switches. Anyways, let's open this up and take a peek. Oh, they do a really good job of locking these things in. Handbook. We know we're gonna get it. Ears, so we can mount it to the wall or to the rack or whatever. Woohoo! An old school console cable. Who doesn't use rollover cables these days? Fortinet has some really sexy USB to console cables. I've got 2 of them. They come with my 1800Fs. Highly recommend. Nice old power cable. And of course, the reason why we're all here, the switch itself. Let's throw all this trash on the side. Let's close this box so we have our table so it's in your view. So, this is an 8-port switch. 8-port. Well, I guess technically it's a 10-port switch. It does come with 2 SFP ports that you can use for copper or fiber. But it's sold as an 8-port switch. It's an 8-port switch. 8 ports. 10 if you wanted to use all the little expansion ports. That's my only real complaint with this thing. It's a 100 series 8-port switch that they could have fit 20 damn ports on if they wanted to. Look at the size of this. You're not going to throw this on your desk. You might mount it underneath it, but this is not, it's too big. It's too damn big. That's not what she said. Anyways, FortiSwitch 108E, this is the POE model, which means ports 1 through 4. 1 through 4? Yeah. 1 through 4 provide power. Ports 5 through 8 do not. And of course, the SFP ports absolutely do not. It does have the console port up front, which makes sense. They did actually give us a real console cable. God, they could have fit 20 ports on this. Now, with that being said, you know, bitching aside, I deploy a lot of these because there's little itty bitty, I will call them IDFs, but basically they're like shelves in the corner of a room, right? In a lot of these spaces where this is what they need in order to provide the connectivity to their printers, their phones, and whatever. So these make sense in some situations. If you need to add an additional 8 to 10 ports to your network, why not make it be a FortiSwitch? Because then you can just, you know, plug port 8 up, let it be in a FortiLink port, manage your VLANs and everything right there. Now, with that being said, you do not need FortiLink to use this. These guys will run in standalone. And depending on the model FortiGate you have, you can run a plethora of these up. I have an environment that has 32 FortiSwitches being managed by the FortiGate, which is interesting. The topology page takes a while to load, but it works. This switch is considered a secure access switch. That means you use it for endpoint connectivity, which is nice. You don't use this in a data center. Data center switches are the 1000 series, and they're actually capable of doing higher caliber things like MC lag and etc. Now the 400 series and up can do MC lag, but this little buddy cannot. Things to know is that the stronger or the higher the version of your FortiSwitch is, the more lag ports or port groups it can do. It's a good switch. It holds its own. It takes it a little bit longer to boot than some of the better switches, but it's still a workhorse. It can still do 20 gigs of throughput, 30 million packets per second. It can hold 8,000 MAC addresses on it. And of course, you know, it's got all the damn POE ports and everything, right? It does support 4,000 VLANs, just like all the others. It's fully manageable by a FortiGate, or it can run in standalone mode. It does not have a redundant power supply or anything, because obviously that's not what it's meant for. This is meant to be in an office that's away from everything else that you weren't able to do a whole bunch of home runs for. Because otherwise you would just have all your drops go back to a main IDF or MDF, where you have your 24 port or your 48 port switch that's a 200 series or better. That way you have a little bit more flexibility there. It airflows side to back, so it's going to pull in from the sides through these vents. So try not to block this guy in, if you will, because it's just going to cause bad. Like, don't sit it like I have this one sitting right now. If you deploy it like this, it's just going to run hot. But yeah, I mean, it only runs like 5 watts. This particular one runs upwards of 70, but that's because it's providing PoE. Yeah, the only real knock I have on it is its size. An 8-port FortiSwitch should not be this large. An 8-port switch of any kind should not be this large, because you can get an 8-port switch that's only from like here to here, right? In between my hands. Which would make more sense for a lot of environments. But as long as you have a counter or shelf or something to mount it to underneath, it'll work. This one is the PoE model. If you need PoE, listen to me carefully. Save yourself the headache. What do I mean by that? Do FPoE. Fortinet likes to kill you with options. Do I want the FortiSwitch? Well, of course. Okay, well, do I want the 108? I like the fact that I'm going to have 8 to 10 ports, but dang, I might want to provide power so I don't have to do PoE injectors or anything like that, or God forbid, run power plugs, right? Well, hell, let's do the PoE. Oh, but that only gives me 4 ports. God forbid I accidentally plug an AP or a phone in the ports 5 through 8, right? Just go ahead and, if you need PoE or if you need to provide power to something, just go ahead and buy the FPoE version. It's more expensive, yes, but you will thank me later. Especially if, you know, you decide to add that 5th device that just happens to need it. Check out corporatearmor.com. They have a long list of FortiSwitches, FortiAPs, and FortiGates available at a pretty kicking price. They are the reason, as I said, that I'm able to actually get a hold of this hardware and do these unboxings. And if you want an abnormally large 8-port switch, this is the one to go for. I'd recommend it. One thing, you never know what version of code any of the Fortinet devices that come out are going to come with out of the box, especially ones that are made in mass. The 108E PoE has been out for a little bit, so you never know. You might get one that's running 366, you might get one that's running 623, or you might get one that's running 642. Whatever you do, upgrade that damn thing to 647 or 646 as soon as possible, especially if you're running 6.4 code on your FortiOS. Trust me, it'll save you a lot of headache. And the performance increases drastically. So, that's our FortiSwitch unboxing. Everybody needs a big switch in their life, right? If you liked the video, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button if this is your first time here, and hit that notify bell if you want to know when new videos come out. If you have questions, concerns, recommendations, or just in general, you know, I would like to see this video, hit me up in the comments below. I'm pretty active in there, though I do get slammed pretty heavily as far as volume goes. So if I don't respond, don't feel bad. And check out Corporate Armor, because they're making this channel grow, at least from the perspective of being able to actually do some pretty nifty videos. I need some unboxing videos where they actually have the plastic, like, you know, so I could peel it, because that's the thing, right? According to Reddit. Yeah, they're all about that. So anyways, hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys next time when we will be talking about something, I'm sure. You never know. But until next time, stay safe.